Okay, so today we're going to be talking about a topic that I've talked to hundreds of people over the years, and this is something that I believe I've helped in some way or another to help comfort people that are going through depression and anxiety. Obviously there's no cure for it, and I'm a big believer in that. Now this is something that doesn't go away. It's a constant and ever-present thing, which is why I have quite severe mood swings, believe it or not, even though I come across very calm and very pleasant. It just depends on when you see me. Okay, so with my depression, it probably started off from when my dad wasn't around, and that was at the age of 16. He abruptly left, and obviously with a figure like that in your life, it does cause some mental trauma, as you can imagine. And I believe anybody who has depression or anxiety has something that triggered it, either from a young age or from some period in their life where they've had problems with relationships, etc, etc, or something that's happened to them. Now, before I even got help, I was in a terrible state, and obviously myself, I didn't know what it was at the time. I wasn't going to see friends. I kept myself to myself. I hid inside my house. Every time my friends came to the door, I told my mum to just make sure that they don't come in, or just to tell them that I'm not here. And looking back at it now, it's absolutely crazy to think that I lived a life like that, where I was so petrified to even go outside my front door. Now obviously my mum could see that I was going through problems, and she managed to get me help. It took over 6 months before I was able to go and see a counsellor. Thank God I did. Now the reason I say that is because I was on the verge of committing suicide, and even to this day I get thoughts like that. I'm not gonna lie, it's just something that happens, nothing I can do about it. But thankfully, I've got some amazing people around me that support me and help me get through so much. They really, really do. And I am so thankful to them. And I believe the RAF are planning on bombing me because I'm out and about. Now, before I got the help that I needed, I did not know what I had. I didn't know what I was going through. This was a time before YouTube was a thing where you could type in, "Why do I feel so bad?" and you'd end up getting some sort of results. So back then I really did have no idea what I was going through and why I was feeling the way I was feeling. Now when I got the help I needed in counselling, that really did help so much. And what it really helped me with was not so much to help cure depression or get over depression. It was to figure out how and why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. And when you can put 1 and 2 together, you can at least try and make things a lot easier and start to recover, I suppose, from depression, because it was extremely deep depression. It definitely wasn't going to end well without the help that I got, and it helped me realize where I was going wrong. And the counsellor at the time helped me so much, and I was in this frame of mind where I wanted to go into the army because I thought the army would sort me out, it'd get me the help that I need. And looking back at that now, I'm so glad that I didn't go into the army. Yes, I would have loved to have gone in there and experienced that life, but in the frame of mind that I was in, it definitely would not have been a good thing to do. And because I got the help that I needed at the time, I wasn't then able to go into the army anyway. I was taking antidepressants, quite a high dose of antidepressants, and also receiving help from a counsellor and also a psychologist. So that in itself prevented me from going in the army, but I can't be mad. Even though at the time I was absolutely so frustrated that I couldn't get into the army, because it was my life goal. It's always something that I wanted to do, and yeah, if I wanted to now, I could go into the army if I really wanted to, because it is over the amount of years where you're not allowed to go into the army if you have anxiety, depression, etc. And also, of course, you know that I've been in the RF reserves. And what is that noise? So that's probably another reason as well. Second. Hi, you alright? Hi. You okay? Lovely day, innit?
Beautiful,
yeah.
surprise, really.
So yeah, after joining the RAF, Um, that helped a lot in itself to get me where I wanted to be in life, and it really did help my confidence. It helped everything really. I think if you're looking to build confidence and you're looking to get amazingly fit, then definitely join the armed forces. I've got nothing bad to say against that at all, especially if you're young and you want to experience life. Definitely get into the army, RAF, Navy, whatever it is that you want to do, and follow that dream. It's just like then when I was talking to the camera and those people walked past. Oh, back in the day, if I was to do that, I would absolutely crumble upon myself and feel so anxious. I wouldn't even be able to make contact to these people and say hello. So what a difference. Also, take what I say about the army and the navy with a pinch of salt, because everybody has their own experiences. It may not be for you, and it may do absolutely nothing for you. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying, getting the right help is so important. Having somebody there who has been through it before, whether that be through depression, anxiety, or suffered in some way from a traumatic experience in their life, so you can ask them and hopefully they'll open up to you and tell you how to cope with what you may be going through. And like I said, everybody goes through their own different experiences, and whereas you may get some useful information from somebody, it might not be as useful to you because they may have gone through something completely different that made them depressed. So if you can, I know it's very hard nowadays, try and get professional medical help. Now, why on earth am I talking about this? Well, I think it's so important, especially for people who are a lot younger than me, to know about what they're going through. And I think finding out what it is that you're going through and why it is so important to helping you to cope with depression and anxiety. It's a massive factor in it, and I believe once you get an idea of why you're going through what you're going through, it really does help. Now, the only reason why I was able to go out in the end and start to live a normal life was because I got the counselling that I needed, and also the antidepressants, they did help massively. Now, I'm not a big pro antidepressant guy. I don't believe it's something that's going to help cure depression or anything like that. It definitely doesn't. It just helps you be a little bit more proactive and it tricks your mind into thinking you're okay when really you're not. So I guess drugs in a way are useful, but it's definitely not something that's going to help cure your depression. You're likely to have depression for the rest of your life, like the majority of us have, and it doesn't matter who you are, what sort of walk of life you come from. At the end of the day, we're all human, we all have one mind, and we all have the same biology. So what's helping me to cope with depression and anxiety? Well, there's no magical answer that I'm going to give you, but it is a number of different things. Now, for me personally, I want so much more in life that I've had before, and that mentality is definitely pushed me forward, because I hope that one day, just one day, I'll have everything that I've ever wanted and more. So that's one of the reasons why I keep pushing forward. And this is an extremely difficult one for me, and that is to just talk to people. I know it may be very hard for yourself as well to open up to people and talk about this, but it's so important, and it really does help. Constantly reminding myself how lucky I actually am. I mean, let's be honest here, I'm not living on the street, I'm not so poor that I can't afford a pair of trousers. You know, I'm not living on the edge of society. I can eat every day. Yeah, maybe I don't have amazing luxuries like some other people do, and that sucks, but you've just got to look at the positives in your life every single day. Don't compare yourself to other people. Now, this is a massive one, and I think it's so important. This is something that I really struggle with, and I know a lot of people out there do because of what's on the internet now. You see people living an amazing life, riding around on amazing bikes or driving around in amazing cars, having beautiful houses, going to crazy destinations, and obviously then that leads me to ask, how are they doing it, and why is my life not like theirs? what have I done so wrong? And then I start picking at myself, doubting myself, hating on myself, because my life isn't like theirs. And I know that's a really hard one for a lot of people to just kind of get over that. Not everyone has been lucky enough to have that sort of lifestyle and have that sort of life. And you have to remember as well, they're only showing you things that they want you to see. Behind the scenes, they could have relationship problems, they may have been abused as a child, you don't know, you really don't know. Anything could have happened in their lives. I don't know where I am anymore. I've literally just been walking for over an hour, it must be, and I'm lost. I guess if I just walk back the way I came from, I should be fine. So take this acorn tree for an example. Now, this tree has gone through so much, right? It's seen everything and anything, and it's weathered many storms, but it's still standing. Now, life has a way of throwing things at you, and you've just got to keep on going forward. As hard as it may be, you've just got to keep pushing forward. Because the magical thing about that tree is that it does give life to other trees, and that comes in the form of an acorn. Now, not every seed that falls from the tree will end up being a tree, but out of the many hundreds of thousands of acorns that fall from that tree in its lifetime, there will likely be around about 5 other trees. Now, that sounds crazy, and I wish. There. Naughty jet. Going back to the acorn tree example, you know, it doesn't matter what life throws at you, you've just got to keep pushing forward. You will end up doing some amazing things in life, and it'll make it all worth it for those hundreds of thousands of times where it's been really crap. Now, I want to lead on to say and finish off with, I'm not a counsellor, I'm not a medical professional. Take this with a grain of salt, because it may not be useful to you. You might look at this video and think, well, I've just wasted 10 minutes of my life, thank you very much. But then again, it might help a few others out there realise their potential and have some belief in themselves and get through this, because it's a long haul, and no matter what life throws at you, you've just got to keep pushing forward. And this is a beautiful place that I've stumbled upon. Woo! Crazy. And this is like a perfect example, again, these examples, that if I would have committed suicide at 16, then I would have never ever have gotten to experience this and gone here and enjoyed such a beautiful day as it is in the land of Rona. Try and think positive. I'm going to recap over a few things that I said before. Talk to people. Don't compare yourself to people. Do things that make you happy. Take the little things in life for granted. They don't seem like much now, but in the grand scale of things, they're actually amazing, and you're so privileged, and I'm privileged to be walking around right now in fresh air. I've got water, I've got food, I've got a house to live in, I've got all the main things that I could possibly want, so I've got to take that for granted every single day. And of course, seek medical help. It's so important. If you can't get medical help, ask for someone to talk to in depth about their experiences. I'm always happy to talk to people about my experiences, and I'm also happy to talk to other people about their experiences. So don't feel afraid to reach out to someone and just talk about life. Anyway, I'm going to stop waffling on now. I'm so hot and I have no idea where I've ended up. Hopefully I'll be able to make it back home. Much love to your faces. Keep thinking positive, because this is a horrible time that we're living in, and it affects people with depression more now than ever before because of jobs, etc, etc. So just keep thinking positive and we'll get through this.